Okay, so you'll notice that we are at the end of November. So now we're after Thanksgiving, which means we really just have a couple weeks left. So this happens to be week 6 that we're starting. And as you know, we are an 8-week term. So that means we only have 3 weeks left. Wanted to let you know that over the weekend, I did put in zeros for any assignments that were more than 2 weeks old. Okay. I didn't do it for everything that wasn't handed in, but if you didn't hand something in, I did put zeros in to more accurately reflect the current grade that you have, because Canvas won't, it'll just grade what's in there. Okay. And so sometimes students, their grade will look like, oh, I have an A. But if you're 2 or 3 weeks behind, you really don't have an A. Okay. So what I did was I filled those with zeros. Now, as you know, those are target due dates. That doesn't mean that they stay at zeros. You can still hand in for the full points, but it has to be by the last day of the class. And the last day of the class, if we look forward a little bit here, let's see. Let me go to the next month. Our last day is the 15th of December, drop dead last day. So there are no extensions after that day, as you know. So it's really important that you're sticking as close to those target due dates as possible, because they're going to reflect a good pace so that you're not rushing at the end. Okay. So, and then whatever you hand in, if you end up saying, oh, I have until the last day, I'll just hand in on the last day. That's fine. You can hand on the last day, but you won't have the opportunity to make any corrections. Okay. So I'll do my best, but yet you run the risk of not getting it back so that you can hand in and do what you need to maybe improve that grade. So 3 weeks left. I like to call this, like we're putting the yellow light on, because we are coming to the end of the semester. And it's important that you're kind of looking. It's also important that you're watching your grades in the grade book in Canvas. Make sure that what you believe your grade is accurately is reflected in Canvas as well. I don't claim to be perfect, but your eyes on the grade book is exactly that. If we can get anything straightened out that isn't quite right before the class ends, it's way easier than trying to do it after grades are handed in and all that kind of stuff. So I want everybody to be, in the know of what their current grade is. And then as we approach the end of the semester, I want to make sure that everybody knows what their grade is going to be in the thing. So I have one person looking up here. I have 4 people in class. Some people are clicking. If you guys aren't getting this information, that's on you. Okay. So I'm trying to be very upfront. I don't want it to get to the very end and then people be surprised about requirements and how things are going. Okay. So is there any questions about gradebook at this time or calendar? Okay. End of day. So 11:59. If you're thinking in those terms, then you should be working on stuff. So I would, if you're thinking how late on Friday the 15th at this point can I hand in? 11:59. Okay, it might not get graded by then because I have other classes, but if it's handed in by 11:59 that day, it'll still be counted in for the current grade. But if it's 12 o'clock, then probably not. All right, then it remains a 0 and it's gonna then get added in as a 0. Okay. Again, okay, I just want you to know I do my best, and my first priority is people who are in class. So if you're handing in on Friday expecting in 10 minutes to have it graded so that you can make any corrections, don't expect that. You are running that risk. Okay. I do my best and I will try to, get things graded as quickly as possible, but I'm not waiting for you to hand stuff in if you haven't been handing stuff in all semester. Okay. So just be aware of that. You guys aren't the only people and the only class that I have. Okay. So there's that. Any questions calendar wise, gradebook wise? All right. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to ask, are there any questions today? We do have an assignment due just because of the holiday weekend last weekend and being off, I had assignment number 5 being due today by the end of the day. Assignment 5 is module number 5, and that's going to be the V-belts and chain drives. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on those at all as you're working through? Okay. If you do need to review, remember you can go back, to the course. You got to get back in there, back to the course. And then, in module number 5, which is the V-belt, the belts and the chain drives, there are the session recordings there. So if you need to go over any of those, feel free to do so. But all the assignment, numbers are in the back of the chapter. Okay. And should mimic the stuff that we went over. I try to do that. I try to make sure that the examples I go over in the class also are going to, help you with any homework that I assign for that particular assignment. So nothing on module number 5. Okay, then I'm going to stop the recording here for our intro, and then we're going to get into CAM design.